Hello and welcome. My name is Samantha Izundu and this is my homesteading channel. I use homesteading very lightly as I live in a little townhouse with a little courtyard. But one day my dream is to have a small homestead, like an urban homestead, where I can live off my property with some chickens, big garden, and make everything from scratch and just live a little bit more sustainably through energy, so solar energy, reducing my waste, all those different things. So if you're interested in those kinds of ways of life, please stay tuned and see how I spend my day, well, when I have a day off, child free, and catch up on some home things. So here I have been using my dehydrator throughout the summer. We have just finished summer here in Australia and we are entering into autumn, but this was filmed right in the smack bang middle of summer. And so I've been growing lots of herbs and dehydrating them. So here is my second batch for the summer of basil that I have picked from the garden, big bushes, dehydrated, and now I'm going to blitz it into not a powder but like a smaller size so it can be easily put into pastas and pizzas throughout the winter time. I'm still using the fresh that I have until winter comes, and then I will be using all of my beautiful dried herbs. So it appears that I lied and I don't have a child-free day. I have my toddler, my 3-year-old son, with me today while my daughter's at school. So I'm here just preparing him some lunch, and I usually just try and make whatever I have. I'm not someone that goes to the shops every day to make the perfect meal. I just try and use my creativity to use what we have. So we attended a birthday party the day before, and so here I am just putting in that spare piece of birthday cake and a juice that they were given in a party bag with some cube cheese, some cucumber that I grew in the garden, and then I just have some spare chicken sausage with tomato sauce. And 3-year-olds, they just love snacking. They don't like meals per se. So this is the perfect kind of meal for him to just be able to pick at. And he ate it all, so I was happy mummy. Some of my goals for this channel is to really show how I manage not spending a lot of money. I don't work full time. I do work, but only a little bit. So we are pretty much living on one income, and that's so I can be totally available to my small children, and that was our choice as a couple to do that. And with that comes financial sacrifice. So a lot of the things that I do and will be doing on this channel is being as frugal as I can, finding good deals, knowing how to cook on a budget, and knowing how to make meals spread. But also cooking from home is a huge saving. So not only is it enjoyable for the kids and for our health, but it is a really good way to save money. And that is something I am continuing to learn as I go along through the years, is how to shop frugally, but also how to cook and save money that way. So having a garden is really a creative outlet for me, but it also is a money saving project as well. So it's really a combination of mental health, financial, a little bit of everything. So I really wanted to show you here. This looks like nothing, but it's actually my onion sprouts, and it's so special to me because I've never been able to successfully have onions germinate. So since filming this, I have like 200 germinated onions, and I want to put them here where all these pumpkins are currently. So when these die back, I'll put the onions in there, and I don't know how I'm going to fit it, although you can see I've got a small space. But I just love my garden. I love picking something every day, even if it's only one bean, one cucumber, one tomato, I don't care. It brings me joy to get out in the sun and just check on the garden, see how she's going, say hey, show her some love, and just really enjoy that quiet time in my happy place. It's a peaceful place for me. So this is all the peppermint that I have been picking. This is the second round again. I have done a previous round of making peppermint tea, which is just dried peppermint, and I'm doing another batch. But this batch specifically is for my nan, my grandmother. She loves peppermint tea, and I already have plenty enough for myself. So this batch is going to be washed, dried, picked, and then dehydrated. And I've got a cute little tin for her that I'll show you later that I'm going to put it in. And now we are on to the bread making now. I have to admit, bread making has been a journey, and I'm still on that journey. I'm just not very good at it. And I think part of the reason is I don't have a proper machine to knead. Try to do it by hand. I'm not getting it right. I've followed many different recipes and it's just not happening for me. And you'd think yeast would be the easier option over sourdough, but I just don't know. So here I am. It looks like I'm doing all the right things, but we will find out later that it didn't turn out too great. I mean, we still eat it. Everything's edible. I'm just really not wanting to spend $4.50 on Australian on one loaf of bread. It just hurts my soul. Like, we would go through 3 loaves of bread a week between the kids and my husband. I don't really eat much bread, so like that's a lot of money. That's $15 a week on bread, and I can't justify it. So I've always wanted to be really good at making bread. So I'm going to continue my journey, even though right now I'm not doing very well. I'm going to continue until one day I absolutely nail it. I know it's to do with the kneading. I know that's what I'm missing. I've done a really hydrated batter. I've done all the different batters, but they all just are too dense. I can't get that fluffiness. The only time I ever achieved fluffiness was when I did a milk bread. But that's not cost effective. I want to do a bread that is yeast, flour, water, salt, oil, and a little bit of sugar. That's what I want to achieve. So if you guys have any tips, I would greatly appreciate it. Here, you can just see this is too bready. I need to buy bread flour, and I need to get better at kneading. One day I will get a KitchenAid. One day. But until then, it will be by hand. I do have a food processor that mixes dough, but it doesn't knead dough. I did break it trying to knead it. It just couldn't handle it. So I've learnt my lesson. I'm not going to do that again. But hopefully we will get there. Cooking from scratch looks so easy on the internet, but when you're doing it, it's hard to make it look pretty and taste good. Alrighty, now we're on to something that I am very successful at, and that is pizza dough. Love making a pizza dough. It's just foolproof. It is so cheap. Just a bit of cheese, bit of sausage that I gave my son. And I even make my own passata just with like cherry tomatoes, olive oil, salt, garlic blended. Beautiful, easy, fresh, love it. So I'm going to make pizza for dinner. It is probably, I would say it's one of the cheapest meals that I can make. Just the sheer low volume of ingredients, and that dough is just so affordable to make. So here we are, we're getting back into it, and I just didn't want the peppermint to be drenched after I washed it. That's why I just let it sit to just get a little bit drier before it goes in the dehydrator. And this was actually a really fast batch. I think it's just a little bit thinner in consistency, so it dried really quickly. I know that the basil, it's a bit thicker. It took me a long time to dry that, but this peppermint, she was quick. I really appreciated that. also wanted to introduce myself a little bit more, as I haven't really posted much on this channel. I do have a beauty channel as well that I've been doing for about 5 years. But as I've grown older, I still love beauty. I will always love beauty, but this has really kind of taken a hold of something that I'm quite passionate about. And it's not just about cooking for my family, it's more of a slower living, it's a more sustainable lifestyle that I am trying to work towards. It's not something that you just are, it's something that you're always working towards. And no one is perfect at sustainability, but it is something that I am really learning about more and wanting to work towards. So all these little skills that I'm learning are helping me to teach my children these skills. They're watching me and I'm teaching them how to garden, how to cook. And so it's really important to me that they understand the value of everything that I am doing as well. Isn't this the cutest little tea canister that I got off Amazon? So this is the one that I'm going to be preparing for my nan. Everything here will fit into this little canister, and what is left over I will add into my existing tea blend that I got from like a Whole Foods type of store. And it's like a body cleanse tea, and I like to have, it's not a body cleanse, but it says it is. It's really just a nice tea to have at night time to settle your stomach. And so adding this peppermint tea into that blend is a really perfect nighttime cup of tea. So I gave this to my nan and she's so excited to try it. It's homegrown, it's organic, it's fresh, you can't get any fresher. And it should last for quite a while because you don't need a lot of it. So I'm really excited about that. So here's my body cleanse tea that I have, adding everything in there. I've made sure that I wrote down all the different herbs and plants that are in this body cleanse tea because it tastes so delicious and refreshing that I do want to have my own medicinal garden, herb garden, tea garden eventually. I don't have the space right now, but eventually I want to have a medicinal garden to be able to make my own tea blends. So I made sure I wrote every tea plant down so that I can recreate this in the future. It's just the most beautiful, stunning, totally natural tea that I love at night time. And here it is placed in my beautiful little drink section: hot chocolate, tea, Earl Grey, all of that. I love it. I'm almost at the point where I want to give up on the yeast bread and just go for the sourdough, because I feel like sourdough just doesn't need that same level of kneading that yeast does, and I just don't think I'm a knead kind of bread gal. So I think I'm going to try sourdough again. I have successfully made sourdough in the past, but then I kind of neglected it. And then I just tried to make sourdough starter in summer, and I don't know what happened. I think I made it in a heat wave and I think it got too hot. I'm not too sure, but I ruined that as well. I'm having a hard time with bread, but I think I'm going to get back on the bandwagon. I think I'm going to try sourdough again. So hopefully you have the patience to go on this journey with me. You can see I bought this Pullman loaf tin, and it's because my goal is to actually make a really good sandwich bread. So if I can get a sourdough sandwich bread done very well, I'll be a very happy girl, because sandwich bread is what we use and what we eat. I personally love like a hard crusted sourdough, but I'm not really eating bread at the moment, so it'd be pointless making that in like a cast iron pot. I really want to perfect a loaf. I've seen some recipes. I think I need to try sourdough. I think we just need to do a lot of trial and error until I get the right outcome. Something I am confident in is my pizza dough recipe. I'm going to leave it down below if you are interested. The recipe calls for an overnight like fermenting or, yeasting. I don't know what you call it. But I never do it overnight. I should do it once because I know that it would be a much nicer, chewier, crustier dough. But I never remember to plan like a whole 24 hours in advance. So I usually make this at about lunchtime, and then it's ready by 6 o'clock, dinner time. I was talking to my husband, showing off my pizza dough skills. But yeah, it's a good, easy recipe that I do recommend, so I'll have that down below. It You're about to witness much disappointment. You ready? Yeah. See, look at that. No rise. She's dense, hard as a brick. It was a big fat fail. Filming these kinds of videos is not something that I do every day. I'm not in the kitchen cooking all day, every day. So when I am like baking bread, I'm in the zone, and that's why I kind of made the pizza at the same time. I've already got the ingredients out. It's a similar kind of vibe. So, certain days I might be cleaning, or other days I have to go out and about. Other days I'm taking my son out. Like, there's just so many other things to do in the day that I'm not actually cooking and cleaning all day, every day. I'm actually studying as well. So I'm studying, working casually, looking after my children, and trying to keep the home as best as I can. I do enjoy it, but it's not something that I actually do every single day. It takes a lot of time to do all of this cooking and then cleaning up after. It's not, you see the edited version, but it does take a whole day of concentrating, planning, creating, perfecting. Well, not perfecting in my case. But there is my little passata that I make from the garden. So I even got basil from the garden in there, my cherry tomatoes, and I am putting some extra basil on top. I've got some grated cheese. Those are the sausages. And that is it. It's a really simple pizza, but the kids love it. My husband loves it. Like, everyone's happy. Everyone's happy eating this, and it is so easy, so cheap. I just recommend making pizza at home to everyone. Like, who's paying $30 for a pizza, $20 for a pizza, and you can make it for like, for a family of four, it costs you like $5. I think the most expensive thing here is the sausage. So I did invest in like you see my little pizza pan, and then in the oven I do have, oh sorry, I burnt my eyes from the smoke. I do have the pizza stone in the oven that I usually just keep there, and I put it down below when I'm not using it, and then on the tray when I am. Sorry, I burnt my eyes. That smoke really came out because you put flour on the stone, and it's the flour that burnt and comes out of the oven every time I open it, and every time I open it I forget and I burn my eyes every time. So never learned my lesson there. But just, I really enjoy making pizzas. I don't do it every week, but if I got into the groove of it, I really would. And in saying that, I did buy enough to do that. I bought a pizza base because I have no tomatoes left. I did buy a pizza base at Aldi, I think it was. So I'm definitely ready to make some more pizzas, and I'm excited about it. This is inspiring me as I'm talking. See, I've done it again. I burnt my eyes again. But I do want to show you how the pizzas look when they come out. So good. So proud. So I'm always proud of a pizza. Look at that. I'm showing off. Sorry. So that is pretty much my day when I do have a cooking day. I just wanted to kind of show you what my day does look like. I'll definitely show you other things that I do in a day. I've filmed another vlog where I'm doing a bit more gardening, and just kind of show you all the different ways that I try and be a bit more sustainable, frugal, and just do everything that I can as a family is very important to me. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you got something from this. If you did, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe. Let me know that you're enjoying it so I can make some more content. And even let me know that if there's anything you're interested in. I've learnt how to make my own yogurt. There's a few other things that I do that I haven't shown yet. So I could do some like focused videos on like one recipe, gardening, whatever it may be. Even sewing my own apron. So I'm doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I'd love to take you on that journey with me. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this.